Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending our second week of our Expiration Ecosystem webinar series. My name is Courtney Radey, and I'm the product manager for data and land management at Datamine Software. Last week, John Shippick took us through the expiration portfolio, focusing on the integration between our products. And today I'm going to be focusing more in detail on LandTrack Systems. I'm going to start with just a quick introduction. We're going to go through some industry challenges, the essentials of tenement management. We're going to dive into an overview of LandTrack Systems, and we're going to open it up to Q&A at the end. For the Q&A session, please enter your questions using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. At the end of today's session, we'll have some time to answer any questions that you have. If we are unable to answer all of your questions today, we'll be reaching out later this week and in the upcoming weeks to answer any questions you may still have. Expiration is one of the most complex, high-risk, and fragmented parts of the mining value chain. Companies struggle with fragmented spatial data, unverified field data, complex geophysics, non-standard databases, and of course, compliance risks. With Datamine's expiration suite, we're connecting every step of expiration from tenure to target and logging to launch. This allows you to spend less time wrangling data and compliance and more time discovering. When it comes to tenement management, what are the problems that most companies faced? Mining companies often struggle with fragmented manual tenure management and land monitoring processes. This can lead to critical compliance risks, lost exploration opportunities, and insufficiencies across departments. Geologists often lack real-time access to accurate land availability and tenement status, which slows exploration planning and increases the chance of duplicating efforts or targeting unavailable areas. Poor compliance tracking can result in lost tenement, regulatory penalties, and delays in project development, undermining shareholder confidence and exposing the company to reputational and financial risks. Tenement compliance is incredibly important, and it's complicated. With various deadlines, we have expenditure requirements, differing jurisdictional legislation, and in many companies, often it comes down to one person managing a spreadsheet, relying on manual processes to manage a ton of data. There are ways that we can mitigate risk and prevent errors and negligence by having procedures in place that are documented, follow, and auditable with safeguards in place against failures. We can also reduce risk by having a place to store our data that's accessible, seamless reporting, and working on our time management skills. Ultimately, this can reduce the cost to your company. How can having a procedure help? This can often help us with retaining corporate knowledge with staff turnover. It assists in the change of personnel with allowing smooth transitions. It improves the housekeeping of the data. It assists in succession planning, and it allows the data to be recovered by anyone because it's consistent. Procedures can also help us prioritize our time so that we never miss these critical deadlines. Time management is your perspective, so you decide what's both urgent and what is important in your day. In Q1, everything is urgent and important. So what happens when we have two things at once? How many of these tasks could I have avoided if I took care of them when they were in Q2? How many could I have avoided with an alert process or changes to some of my existing processes? In Q3, these are things that are urgent but not very important. So these are often your day-to-day tasks that need to be handled. So meetings, phone calls, emails, things that we really can't avoid. And we often look at how we can make these more efficient. If we're on top of our critical dates, our expenditure, and our reporting, can we prevent Q1 tasks from popping up frequently? During the procedure creation process, what do we need in place to prevent urgency and missed deadlines? This brings us to how we can keep track of our assets and our tasks. Deciding what's the best technology to use depends on a variety of factors. How many tenements you're tracking? Do you have more than one property? How many due dates do you have? Do you also need to track your expenditure? And of course, what is your overall budget? Teams often use Excel, Access, consultants, or industry software to manage these tasks. With Excel and Access, these products can be useful, but oftentimes we have to train our staff on complex formulas. There also be lots of staff turnover where we're unsure how these databases are being managed and how often are we actually updating the data in these databases. Consultants are also great because they have lots of industry expertise, but this often comes into a cost versus control, which needs to be considered when using consultants. Let's take a look at what it means to have a purpose-built system to do all of your tenement management tasks. Datamine's expiration portfolio offers 4 solutions to help you acquire, protect, manage, report, and track your mineral title compliance, your tenant-related agreements, and your environmental conditions. The first product is GeoSearch. It's a web-based land monitoring with spatial alert system. It's a powerful land monitoring tool designed to give you a competitive edge by identifying land that becomes available for expiration. LandTracker is an asset claim land management system that provides the mining industry with exclusive and innovative technology. Expenditure Watch fills the gap between the accounting system, tenement administration, and expiration planning. It's designed to specifically address difficulties with traditional tenement expenditure reports. That leaves us with Tenement Safety Net, which is a specialized purpose web application specifically designed to help mining companies protect their most valuable asset and providing an independent, timely, and concise report to back up any tenement management system. One of the most unique features of LandTrack Systems is our live data feed. So daily updates in our products are used to power our compliance actions, GeoSearch reports, TSN insights, and of course, LandTracker. Tenement data is automatically imported directly from key government databases and is updated daily. This allows you to have more time to devote to your compliance tasks and work productively with your data. Current jurisdictions that we have available in our data feed are all states in Australia, Ontario, British Columbia, Quebec, Nunavut, Nova Scotia, and Canada. We also have Brazil, Peru, Finland, and in the US, we're getting data from Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. Let's take a closer look at each product individually. So we're going to start with GeoSearch and Tenement Safety Net. So as I mentioned, GeoSearch alerts users when ground acquisition becomes available for staking. So this allows you to have no missed opportunities for new ground. Our unique spatial-based alerts extract from key government websites and is sent to you daily. TSN reports helps you comply with Mining Act requirements and avoid losing your tenure. You can choose a number of tenements to track, and the frequency of your tenant reports can be set to weekly, fortnightly, and monthly. Expenditure Watch consolidates all tenement expenditure data into one accessible platform. With proactive alerts and expenditure forecasting tools, users can address shortfalls or overspending early. The system generates ready-to-use reports for internal management or for submitting, which saves you hours on administrative efforts. Users can oversee large tenement portfolios, allowing better prioritization of resources, more strategic decision-making, and cost-effective compliance across the board. We are currently redesigning the Expenditure Watch product to be more multi-jurisdictional, and we'll have better access to pull in your data from products like Fusion. So all of your drill hole and your sample data can be brought into Expenditure Watch to calculate our costs and allocate accordingly. Now we'll take a deeper look at LandTracker. So LandTracker has the capability to manage a variety of tenement functions, which can be accessed by the 4 modules on the dashboard: tenements, agreements, environmental, and due diligence. So due diligence is only available in the US, but all other modules are available globally. With LandTracker, tenements, as we mentioned, can be imported directly from government websites, but it can also be imported manually. Agreements can be separated into several types customized to your needs. LandTracker has also been built with the ability to customize the structure of its tables using Microsoft Word document templates. These are available in the LandTracker user guide and allows you to configure LandTrack to reflect your business processes, ensuring continuity of data across departments and staff. Let's take a quick look at what the product looks like. So inside LandTracker, I'm going to start by importing some tenements. I'm simply going to run a holder search. I'm going to run it for the name silver in the title. So we're going to get quite a bit. You can see we have 11,000 claims. We can see here we have the Ontario jurisdiction, Quebec. We can see WA, Queensland, New South Wales. We can also see Nevada, Peru, Alaska, and so on. So we can kind of see the different jurisdictions that are available in the data feed. I'm going to pull in a couple from WA just because it has some of the most extensive data that we have available. We'll notice on import, we're able to see the different types of child data we're going to bring in. So from our compliance, our conditions, our dealings, and so on. And this allows us to just confirm that we are bringing in the correct data that we're looking for. Once we've imported into LandTracker, we're going to be able to view it in the Tenements module. So I've set this up to be viewed by different jurisdictions to start. So we can see here in Ontario, we can view the related data that's coming right from MLAS. And you'll notice here that we can also see that we're bringing in the total work required, as well as the total work that's been completed on these individual claims. BC is very similar to Ontario. We're pulling from the MTO site, and you can see here that all the events are coming in as well. So all the detailed information that has been submitted to the MPO can be viewed in LandTracker. We'll take a look at the concessions from Brazil, and we can see here that this data is coming in daily, as well as in Peru. We can see that these concessions are being brought in as well. We can also take a quick look. If you'll notice, there's a status field that shows if it's live or if it's pending. So if there's any sort of, pending status, we can see that information as well. And we can also view these in the spatial sense as well. So you'll notice quickly that blue refers to a pending concession and green will be a live concession. And not only can we see our specific tenements, but we can also see the surrounding tenements as well in that data feed. Just a quick look at Nevada. So this is coming in from the BLM. And WA, again, has the more extensive data that we have available. So if we look at the related data, we have much more information when it comes to dealings and rent and expenditure through WA. Let's take a quick look at the agreements module now. So agreements allows you to bring in different types of agreements that you possibly could have. So we have our joint ventures, we have our royalty agreements, private land access, native title acts, all the different types that you may have. If they're not listed here, as we mentioned, we can customize it to fit your needs. We can also link our agreements to our tenements module. So if you do have both modules, you can see here that all the related tenements can be linked back, where information changed in the agreements will automatically be pushed back to the tenements if it's applicable. The last module we'll take a look at is the environmental module. So this module has been structured with ease of data entry and reporting in mind. It uses Excel merge templates where users can reproduce many of the reports that the environmental advisor require to create. So we'll take a quick look at what this looks like here. So we can see that we have different types of environmental monitoring that we may need to do. So we have our borehole, we have ground, we have fauna, we have different types of soil samples, all that types of stuff can be saved through here. And as we mentioned, we can push this all out into customized reports for users to visualize as needed. So again, here's for the boreholes, and then we can kind of see different types of reporting that we can get out of the environmental module. And just another quick example here. When it comes to LandTracker, as we quickly saw, we can track the changes. So this is used when importing data, and its main purpose is to display those changes. So it does allow you to select what changes you want to apply and what will be ignored. We can also use this for auditing, for audit reports as well. So if you wanted to know what has been changed and if it should have been changed or not, you can run these reports to make sure that everything is as accurate as it needs to be. We also saw that we are able to group our different assets based on region and jurisdiction. However, you can also create custom groups as well. So this can be based on commodity, it can be based on project or relationships, for example, and any other type of grouping that you see fit. One of the main functionalities of Land Tracker is to create these actions. So as we chatted about earlier, making sure that we don't miss those deadlines is a very crucial part of the tenement management workflow. So actions are customized per jurisdiction, and they can be tracked based on filters, color-coded based on urgency or type, and each action can also contain multiple subtasks and can be bulk completed where applicable. So let's take a quick look at what these actions might look like. So you can see here quickly that we can do a filter for 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and this is all everything going forward. And we can take a look at them by our groups as well. So if we just want to see our agreement actions, our environmental actions, or actions just based on a specific group. And we can base them on tenement type as well, so or action type as well. So if you just want to see your expenditure that's due in the next, 30 days, then you can easily visualize that. And you can bulk complete them, as I mentioned as well. So oftentimes in certain jurisdictions, if your tenements are touching, they are considered one package, and actions can be completed on those packages all at once. Once these actions are set up, often we need an alerting system. So as we mentioned, when we're looking at our time management and not missing these critical tasks, these alerts are going to help us with that process. So there's two different types of alerts that we can have. So our view-based alerts, these are things for, a monthly list of actions that have been performed by a specific user. Well, escalation of overdue actions, report on actions that were performed within a specific time frame, or alerts for certain changes that have been made to a tenement. Action-based alerts can be things like anything that's due in a specific number of days from now. So if you want to have your monthly update to know what needs to be done in the next 30 days, you can have those automatic alerts set. And you can want things that are completed within a number of days in the past. So what has my team been doing in the last 30 days as well? So again, we'll just take a quick look at what these alerts look like. So you can have as many alerts as you want, and they're all customized, and they can be set by different intervals as well. So if you want them daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, those can all be set up. And this is just a quick look at what some of those alerts will look like. So they go to an email recipient. So you can see here that we have things like overdue, what's been changed, what's coming up, and so on in these alerts. LandTracker also allows you to link and manage documents to assets and actions. So when a document's attached, a link is created and will take you straight to the document that you're looking for. Typically, these are stored on your PC or your network or in a document management system. We are not a document management system. However, it is still a pro to kind of have these documents ready when needed. We saw quickly in the demonstration that we do have the ability to view spatial data. So this is being pulled from our LandTracker Maps service. So these maps, again, are updated as often as the government sites are updated, and these maps can be displayed based on the selection in the data grid. So we did show just a single tenement being selected, but you can also select multiple to view them all at once. So if you do have any other questions or you do want to learn more about LandTrack Systems and how it can work with your procedures, please reach out to any of our local offices. So we do have over 28 offices globally. So feel free to reach out either to myself or to your nearest Datamine office, and we'll be happy to help you with any of your questions.